the same story, and he mentioned that as well.
Yeah,
before Reykjavik, it did not look like this team had anything notable to go for them, and then they turned it around completely.
As the devs was mentioning, ZETA is going to start off on the defensive half. The opener in this best of 3, Ascent, Fracture, and Bind are on the menu if we need to get there. But early on, you're already seeing Dep go very aggressive off of the Haunted. He gets a kill.
Dude, and that's a pistol round that so many teams are going, but Aspas is not stopping. He's going to try to find an equalizer immediately.
The rotation surely have to come over soon. They've got to feel all the pressure heading in their way in their labs. But Dep, if he can continue to keep them back, he's going to be just fine on his own.
Miss Flash.
Flash just a bit outside, and Dep with the third. He's got a fourth right before him. 10 from up top. Saucy with a whole lot before him. He's gotten it down to a 1v2.
His team just left him there on that fight.
He still has 9 armor. There's still so much time left in the round.
And Sugar Zero has the frenzy. Also, they're playing the high-low in case he went for an aggressive play, which Saucy makes it a wise choice not to. He still wants to. So much time on the clock, like you said, and they could get caught in the backstab.
Saucy has his dart too. Does he check glass? Oh, he's going to check it, but is he going to look all the way around? One.
Oh, but he doesn't know?
Yeah, he doesn't know that the alert's right beside him. You called out the frenzy. That cleans up the round. ZETA get the first.
I mean, chaotic after 10. Missed the shots to end it. Saucy could have already been taken down, and he makes it really close, an exploration mission. And unfortunately, Sugar Zero is just on the other side of that window, and it's not broken too. They go for this really nice paper-esque play in A main, and it does net them a kill. You could already see Dep going over towards this jet, them giving up the chamber, is prepped, no matter what the sub situation was. And actually, it mattered here on this map because 10 was playing Raze. And that's not a role that XDLL, the sub that they came here with, was very familiar with, so.
Looking like a mid-B split here. You see the Marshall in the hands of Dep. He's taking a good bit of damage, has to back up, has to give the space away. They have the alarm bot there to provide some cover. Sadok's not going to be around for much longer. Dep, clotheslined. There's another wrestling reference for you, GB. Crow's just going to get more, and you can see Loud didn't have very much for guns. The Spectres are just kind of doing all the work in this round. Can Aspas find anything with his Sheriff? No, we can't. ZETA up 2-0.
And good patience there for them not to challenge on the B side against Aspas there as Sugar Zero comes through with the flank from Catwalk. And that's a very, very good anti-eco there. 2 rounds now, we've actually seen Loud try to go for a little bit of control on one side, and when that's not going great, in this case it was the top mid pressure, they really, really try to push the other side very fast to equalize.
We'll see if they keep up to those antics. This should be a decent round for Loud. They're going to have actually light armor the whole way. They are going to have their rifles, but that's it.
And it looks like we actually have potentially ZETA division all up in spawn right here. So yeah, I think we're going to go for a check timeout. A good start from them. And they will go for a bonus now. And Josh was alluding to a little bit of their stats, right? Specifically the one about their defensive rounds being quite poor. But also, they have some of the worst bonus conversion rates out of any team here. And that is even more of a drastic difference on that defensive side. So this is an important round for them to keep the tempo. You always saw them when they're fighting through the Challengers playoffs and even at Reykjavik as well, them fighting from behind to try to come back. And it's because of moments like these where they're not able to convert the bonus.
And that felt like, that felt like the main song throughout all of Copenhagen, right? People are just busting economies half after half off of rounds like the one we have before us. So we'll see whether or not that's going to be the case. As soon as we get some info on what's going on, we will get you good people at home updated on the situation. But it's a great start from ZETA. Ball, I think you mentioned it very succinctly. Loud have tried testing waters. They don't like what they see. They go to the opposite side of the map, and while it ultimately hasn't netted them anything, it's interesting to watch some of their tendencies already.
Yeah. The fishing expeditions that Aspas is going on are definitely ambitious, to say the least. The first round, it almost netted them potentially a way back in, but just not methodical enough so far. And I think those are the types of things you expect Loud to certainly get better at as the game and tournament progresses.
It was interesting to hear the coach from Loud talk about it. Like there is a heavy dose of confidence.
Yeah.
There is a heavy dose of faith in this team. They feel very good about the fact that they have, or I mean, I guess we'll find out if they have or if they haven't, but they believe they've come into this tournament having shored up all of the problems that ruined their run in Copenhagen. And I mean, obviously it's very early to tell, but you can tell the confidence is at an all-time high with the squad.
Yeah, it also kind of felt like he was hedging a little bit on their performance through their regional stages, right?
Sure.
Because he was talking a lot about how they're getting, you know, experience against the other Brazilian teams, and when you come to an international event, it's completely different. I think ZETA is a formidable opponent when it comes specifically to that, right? You have to be disciplined to take down a ZETA division team who is going to be disciplined on their end. You're not going to see the same types of ranked peaking that you're seeing in Brazil that he's talking about, right? VZK.
Be interesting to see whether or not that patience from ZETA continues. I do have some info for you good people at home. It seems to be an audio issue on the stage. As soon as we get it rectified, we'll get back into the action again. A little bit of audio. I mean, minor details, right? Do you really need audio in VALORANT? I mean, come on.
It's such a treat to see ZETA Division back up on the stage, though.
Yeah.
Loud too, but we saw them at Copenhagen. It didn't go that great. Yes, I want to see the redemption arc potential, right? They were kind of befallen under the second place curse after Reykjavik, so I'll cut them some slack. ZETA we didn't get to see. That was a miracle run.
Yeah.
Something that we rarely have seen. We have not really played that much VALORANT so far in the game's lifespan. There was the crew miracle run at Champions last year, and then this one is so memorable. So to see them back here again inspires confidence, inspires a little bit of giddiness in me too.
Oh yeah, I mean the question is like, is it going to be ZETA?
Yeah.
Is it going to be someone else? Leviathan, I saw some headlines. They shocked the world yesterday, and while some people may have not been as high on the Liquid train as others were, it was still an impressive win. So you look at that and you go, okay, who is it?
Yeah,
who is it this time?
Yeah, I mean there was EDG yesterday too. Showed up and kind of played right into the hype that is around that team, and unfortunately for ZETA, I think they've lost a little bit of that. You know, I think if they went into Copenhagen, it would have been like a massive uproar to see ZETA try to make another one of those runs deep into playoffs. And we just didn't get it. We just didn't get it. Thankfully, we got a little bit of taste of them in front of a crowd, but let's see if they can try to experience that again. It's so long, such a grueling process to get it all the way through.
It really is. And with a bigger field, there's so much more at stakes, and it's a gauntlet. You're absolutely right. But I think that tweet just kind of goes to what we were just talking about, right? Like, do you believe in magic?
Yeah.
Because that was the ZETA run.
That was exactly what was the thoughts on everybody's mind. They continued to stomp team after team after team in the lower bracket. And on the flip side, the desk was talking about how these teams did not play against each other. Loud went through the upper bracket gauntlet here. And it's just so interesting. Now we're here in Turkey, and we've got essentially the group of Reykjavik, right? Optics waiting later to play, and they're in this group as well. So
they'll be up next.
So interesting to see it rehashed again at the ultimate tournament of the year.
It doesn't get any better than that. Very quickly, I want to go back to the EDG. Do you think Mimi feels bad about changing her prediction after she saw EDG?
You called her out like that?
Yeah, I did.
That was completely off air. That's
I was
wild.
like kicking back there. She changed predictions on the desk.
I know. She's a flip-flopper, that one.
I'm kind of sorry, not entirely sorry. Again, audio issue. We're getting back into the action very, very soon. ZETA, while the round, I mean, it was the first round, the second round less so.
Yeah.
First round was very close. ZETA have the lead here. ZETA have the advantage. And again, to harken back to what Josh was saying on the desk, this is a defensive side for ZETA, where they were bad, right? Like, they were bad. Let's not sugarcoat it.
No, less than 50% win rate on the defensive side, and that still netted them a Grand Finals berth in Challengers 2, right? And this we're talking about stage 2 and on stats, right? When we mentioned that, I imagine that they're kind of similar when you look at the Reykjavik stats too. But either way, it's something that they need to shore up against a team like Loud, whose stats are ridiculous, by the way, on all sides, on gun rounds, everything. We are back in the game. Aggressive look down mid for ZETA and into A for Loud as well.
Now, Les has to be careful. He's the only one who's been sectioned off. And he is going to get some info that they're pushing this way. They see the Prowler. It doesn't land, and he lands the shots on 10 instead.
Right there.
The thing is, though, they've lost all mid control. They have no presence across that area of the map, and you see Depp is already looking to take that space away.
And the alarm bot is just in time, too. Penkata can retreat to help Les, but he's going to be isolated. So these guys have a chance to take this 3v4.
How patient is he? Aspas down low, can't hear a dang thing. They're dropping into smoke right in front of him. Aspas swinging around, he's able to get 1-2. Oh, it looks like they're gonna trade back. Dashes right into Laz and is punished for it. Laz in a 1v2. He's not able to pull it off. Louder on the board.
And Les just destroyed the top mid flank. That was crucial. He needed to be isolated because even in that final situation, it could have been a 1v1 on site. As the player from A main maybe had a chance to flank, but completely shut down, well handled from Loud. And I was mentioning the struggles that ZETA have in bonus rounds. That's the first one, and it continues to certainly be a problem. I think Loud played that great. The way, not even just on the site, but the way they handled that round entirely. Their execute starts as Les, who realizes the situation is Shark Attack. And that's the cue for them to go. They know that there's space, and they know they're an advantage.
Pass using the Blade Storm right off the bat. Saucy has his ultimate to work with as well on the side of Loud. Going back to the middle of the map. Pass, the tip of the spear. Gotta get a shot at depth. First two blades go a bit wide.
They used a lot of utility there, but they did net at least some safety.
Whoa. Where is that
depth?
It's get canceled instantly.
Yeah. Great night from Laz.
And you kind of wonder like what it was that he saw in that moment.
What a read! How did he know?
Obviously has X-ray vision. Sugar Zero not around much longer. And they do still have some time, and they do still have the middle of the map to work with. Also note, the Blade Storm's still available. He dashes forward, Aspas up top, the Cloudburst to provide some cover, 10 not able to land the shots, Aspas not either. Has to give the space back up. Now we're down to 40 seconds left. How many options do you have?
Alarm bot out.
Knife misses, there's gonna be a good bit of utility there.
They have so much space. Oh, they're going fast with the lockdown. This keeps them off of the site. This could be huge.
Aspas behind them, creeping his way forward, and they've spotted him. He's been dropped. Now Laz using his own ult. It's a 2v2 here. Laz weak.
They can't push the lockdown.
No, 10 gets it to half. Is he gonna hold it the entire way? Yeah, Timmy the Turk providing cover! And he gets the defuse.
Unbelievable decision. They just put the lockdown down and spawn and try to cover it from inside of sight. They just go so fast. Never seen that done before.
And you've got, I wish we could see it again because Les's kill at the very end there, that could not have been closer.
You just saw it. I'm not sure if Pancato was able to see him. He tried to sneak past the one way. Right as the Hunter's Fury was getting canceled, so he just gets unlucky, but they still win the round. Remember, that was a 4 versus 5.
It's crazy.
From Loud.
Excellent. Sorry, you hear the other Blade Storm used, this time from Depp. We'll see what he can do with it.
2 big ults here from Loud, though. The KO ult already popped. The lockdown, too. They could use that in the post plant.
Ooh, but that knife out from Last spotted a whole lot of people down A long, and they're going to persist. They're going to go forward.
The problem here is they're broke, too. They might have won the last round, but they didn't win that bonus and lost all players.
Depp is the key here. Can he find some success with that Blade Storm? We got a couple of Sheriff's Crow as a frenzy, too. The delay from the Nano Storms, man. No one wants to get anywhere near that, but the timing isn't great for Aspas. Lands the shots anyway. Depp has been so tacked up. He's been so peppered. A prime gaming flawless comes through his Loud punch back.
And there was definitely no fight there from ZETA. I realized because I was so hyped that their buy was so weak when that hit started. So it did. Loud did using ults in that situation. Potentially not expecting what the. Oh my.
I love those kills.
Yeah,
Hold W, spam into a smoke. Why not?
And also great angle from Aspas on top of that box to control everything on top of mollies that Les is throwing. And great to see Les fragging as well, because he was a star at Reykjavik, not a star at Copenhagen.
7-2 start for the young buck on the side of Loud. He's got that lockdown still to work with. And he's actually on the opposite side of the map right now. His team looking over towards A. So it seems like they're expecting mid-aggression from ZETA here.
Concealment.
As soon as the drone pops, Sugar Zero pops his own smoke.
Obscuring vision.
He's just trying to work a pick.
Nice pass, dashing forward, going into his first and the second Cloudburst. Cover still his. The flash in his face, the door goes down. What do they do? Do they try to shoot it down? Do they try to push forward? No, Sugar Zero was left alone out there on an island, 10 close by. But what defenses are left? Depp still causing problems from the other side of the door. Switch clear, but Les once again on the flank. He's got a chance to blow this thing up. No, Depp is wise to it, but is the timing gonna land his way? No, it's not. Les takes care of him. 3v2 in favor of Loud. Note that Les still has his ultimate. If things get hairy.
And Tree, that's a good spot for it.
Yep. How do they get out?
player
Hellbound
standing.
Hound, Crow not able to get it. Can Laz do any of it himself? He drops one. But that's all it's going to be. We're tied up at 3-piece.
And a great round again from Loud. They're just really abusing their default and giving room for Aspas to work picks. They just slowly work their way out on A side.
And again, they have game covered. Laz continues to play in tiles, and he's got that area of map
Enemy
control.
remaining.
It's a great setup. It's early map control, and then you have the flank you have to consider at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Even when you get what you want.
Well, also, it's
ZETA, as you can see, call a timeout. We're nearing the end of that. Again, a very close affair. Perhaps predictability, perhaps close rounds going either which way, but the way it crumbles, we are tied up at 3-piece here on Ascent. We'll see if they continue their default or off of a timeout. Oftentimes, this is when you see a little bit of spice, right? Something a little different.
sure. I think it should be an eco here, though, from ZETA, and it will be.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, because right now in this round, you're seeing them swap the Killjoy over towards the A side. You have Sugar Zero potentially playing towards the B side. Actually, no, they're going to decide to stack over towards A, but that's something I think that they might try to do, right? Where maybe that Fade can get a little bit more value. Because right now, he's just on haunt duty on B main.
Laz once again finding value with this knife. I believe tag 2 there outside of B main. The drone, clear out, any pesky little corners, and you see Laz already preparing to drop some utility. But it's going to be a very similar hit that we've seen that allow the paranoia, the dash, to try to create some space.
Ooh.
It's a great startup from Sugar Zero, though. Laz is also playing backside. They haven't given up very much space.
They're
at
in
all.
sight!
Yeah, they haven't given up an inch! They haven't given up a single inch! Now Sadak and Peccata, though, 2 left. We'll make it just 1. What a round out from ZETA!
Exactly the type of round as well that gave them 3rd place at Reykjavik. And they're doing it to the runner-ups. What a thrifty. And again, that fast-paced push into B side. You realize the moment that was happening. All of a sudden, Last falls off. He goes his nade lane. And the haunt combo that they had with that smoke, they all just get in it, and it actually works really, really well. So Loud not prepared to break that as it falls behind them. So really, really good stuff from Crow, which we were just mentioning. Wasn't really finding value over towards that B side.
See, as it seems like Loud go back to what has gotten them to this point so far. You've got Last playing tiles, the rest of the team working A and mid.
A little bit more up cat here, though, and Aspas is aggressive. Last recognizes that, though, but he's given so much space up.
This is also much closer. The paranoia out from Peccata doesn't tag anything quite yet. Laz with the counter flash of his own. He's spamming across the smoke. Has to give the space back up. Tree is lost, but Les finds a kill already.
Just spotted 10. I don't think he knows, though. The Molly to kill combo.
Fast. Playing behind Jenny. 2 targets right before him. A little high, a little low. Peccata's able to provide some cover, but it wasn't enough. 10 cleans him up. They've gotten the spike onto the side, and once again, they have to worry about the late flanks that are coming through, but they're wise to it yet again. 3 for Les, 4 for Loud.
That is cold from Les, too. You mentioned awareness, and he is perfectly timing his turn there. Potentially Sugar Zero a little fast on that one. They had 3 ults to play into that, and not a single one used. But look at this. They're fighting so long to help and fight the player who's gotten into Gen. That's Aspas.
Yeah.
Because of all the smokes that are going down on that execute, there's so many weird angles that you have to be paying attention to there. And unfortunately, Zeta's not able to convert any kills off of it.
Quite the far cry from what we saw in the previous round. Now again, ZETA in this weird buy situation. Laz has a shorty. That's really all he's got.
Yeah, he's now playing Chamber this time too, so.
He's going to be posting up a tree, so keep that in mind. If anyone goes that way, you've got a chance for fireworks. While Depp with the op holding middle of the map.
If you're just joining us too, first time you're watching ZETA in a while, Laz giving up on the Chamber on this map and going back to his prior role of initiator, which he played all throughout 2021, essentially. And he was just as good at that role. And we're already seeing some really nice value out of the KO, but definitely not going to have the same power as Chamber. Here he goes again, onto Cap.
Yeah, ZETA should have a really good idea of what this hit is. They know that Def got smoked off, and as soon as that smoke went up, they pinged the middle of the map. But I think they've slightly misread what's going on here. The Nightfall across A doesn't tag. Maybe it tagged one?
Oh, you're right. They're misreading this.
Yeah, just
rotating
barely.
off, but there's still room for them to work. Sugar Zero's still here. Don't forget.
Hunter's Fury, Sugar Zero up top, like you said, gets two, and the spike. Oh, it's clean! It's Sugar Zero gets the third.
I need to stop obscuring vision.
No.
He smokes off their main too. There's no way in for Saucy. Less with a massive flank, but I don't even know if there's time he has to make it through mid. He's got to put his sneakers on. Get running. And they're giving up.
Yeah, you just gotta go super fast, man.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, there's just no way. Trying to get the op out. Nope.
Yeah, he's not even going to be able to cross. Oh, no.
Wait.
That's close.
Wait, just a dark.
Time out.
4 seconds to plant. Sometimes I just don't trust, the number at the top of the screen. Don't trust my eyes, whether I have the reaction time to tell it or not.
We're way too old to be doing that. 3 ults for Loud as they carry that into the next round, and it was ultimately Sugar Zero's stall here, Bala, that won ZETA's round.
Yeah, this was really, really nice from him. He's using the time that Loud actually used a lot of, I don't know, their pressure, right? At the beginning of the round. They were fast. Laz had to use his name. And then they used that time of quiet to reposition. And that was where Sugar Zero's getting away from any Hunter's Fury lanes. He's playing up Heaven. That's not normally a place where your anchor's playing. Because he knew our team was kind of in the middle of rotating there.
Loud calling a timeout here. Again, it's been a bit tit for tat this entire map. And with that in mind, knowing that we're nearing the end of the first half, seems like Loud are going to try to take control of the situation and see if we get something different out of this timeout. Remember, the last time we saw this timeout, it was from ZETA, but they went towards B and they got obliterated off of ZETA's pistol. So we'll see if they try to dial up something different. We've seen heavy mid, we've seen heavy A, just not a ton B.
The fast retakes towards B, I think, is something that they're concerned about.
Yeah.
And I think it's for good reason. Though, the way you can crunch those is you fake it, right?
Sure.
We haven't seen that from Loud at all.
Yeah.
The possibility of them throwing in fakes right now, I think ZETA is really kind of just not biting on anything, and that's giving them full, normal, advantaged fights on the sites. Not advantaged, but not disadvantaged either.
Sure. Sitting on the fact that if we see something, they're going.
There's really no misdirection.
Yeah.
This round, there is no less over towards B main. But he still has this turret there watching. It's actually a really nice turret where you can spread really wide here.
And Depp is there with the op. See if it triggers. Again, you just saw Aspes with his Blade Storm. And is it going to be another fast hit? It looks like it is. There's nobody on A right now, though. Oh, and they just heard the opposite tree. Aspes going up top. No challenge quite yet.
Here.
Important here, Sadak did not use his nade, so he can potentially use it to break this lockdown that's coming. Sassy with shock darts too.
2 lockdowns too. There's a nade that you just mentioned. First one goes down. Will the second one persist? It seems like that will be the case.
He's going for it still.
Well defined.
The gentleman's agreement is both teams decide to pause on the round, and then the gunfire erupts. Numbers in favor of Loud as they continue to push their way forward. The spike planted. Lad trying to find something, no.
His team gave up on him. They were gone as he dropped, and unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to take that fight because that smoke that they were using potentially to drop out was covering, so they couldn't fight. Good wall, but still, there was just too much from Loud there. They had the counter lockdown, which made them really cautious of approaching the space, of approaching Laz entirely. And then as well, their lockdown just instantly obliterated by the nade. That nade's not actually that easy to, I mean, it's easy to land, but not easy to choose which spot that lockdown actually is. It's a split second noticing, hey, where's the dot? Ooh. That's nice. That's a combination of the lockdown they were using inside of A main. So he knows that potentially people are sitting in that corner. Well done, Pancata.
Tied at 5-5 apiece here. 3 members on the side, well 2 now, on the side of ZETA with light armor. Operator still in the hands of Deb. Carries that over from the previous round. We'll see if they do anything interesting with Pancata's ult. haven't seen a ton of like crazy TikTok-y plays quite yet.
Yeah, I know. At
It
this
would be
point,
nice, though.
yeah, at this point, very difficult to get those off, though, right? TikTok is useful for, oh, that's cool. Not useful for much more outside of gimmicks. Gimmicks are nice. And Depp picking up the op is not super uncommon. Look actually at the position of Sugar Zero. He's got stars spread really wide, and that's an anti-KO setup. Sadak, who's sitting A main, they've used it every time, instantly towards A main. This time it's a lot more quiet.
Once again, very similar to what we've seen in the last couple of rounds. Last playing really far back. Seems like it's all about timings for Loud so far. You hear that no command come through, Depp smoked off and decides to push forward. What a lunatic. He's got the dash proc. He hears one go through, swings out, oh, and it just narrowly misses. Brushes the shoulder, but Depp doesn't miss twice. Numbers in favor of ZETA. For now, Loud looking to equalize the matter. Aspas left in this 1v3. Laz has ultimate, no armor to his name, weak health. The spike's so far away though.
30 seconds left.
How the heck does Aspas do this? There's certainly no way.
Just waiting, reminiscent of pistol round, waiting for him to pick up the spike, but they're getting too far away. He might get Laz, and
He's gotten him to at least 1v1. But 10 wins the second. ZETA hits 6.
a lead right now, potentially.
Last round in the half.
They have the opportunity to win the half when
On
there
the
were
weaker side.
and there were many doubters specifically about that exact.
Mainly Josh.
This could be a really good game so far from ZETA Division. Already above their averages. Already you're seeing players who needed to step up on land doing just that. But most importantly, the team play and prep is already there.
No extra oomph behind this punch for Loud. Just that ultimate from Pancata that we mentioned in the previous round. No Hunter's Fury, no command, nothing. Oh my gosh. And no ass pass either. Can he find a second? Death on top. Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
And without Aspas, that's a huge thing for Loud. They rely on him so much for entry picks.
Look at the pivot. Previously it was Les who was running back in spawn, making sure the flank wasn't coming through. This time it's Pancata, but it's because of his ult. He should be able to, if they take B, he should be able to get over there quickly.
Again, predictable. And it looks finally like Sadak wants to poke over towards A, and they hit B. But look, there's still mollies, and there's still even Crow Spade utility here. So while this fake might be the first time it actually works out, never mind. There's no follow-up.
Yeah, and there's nothing behind the punch.
Seize is perfect, too.
Ult comes through. Les swings out. Can they find anything? Oh, of course, there's a judge in the hand of Les. Last, excuse me. Saucy trying to spam through the smoke, see if he can get a free one of his own. He's going to push forward. He's not going to find anyone back there.
And it's important here. They can't pivot anymore now that they lost Pancata.
Yeah. Note here, keep a third eye on Sugar Zero. He's going to be the late flank, working his way through mid, and they've got them boxed in right now. There's no time to go anywhere else. They have nowhere that they can go, and they just get destroyed. A 7-5 half for ZETA.
Winning the half is massive here.
Switching sides.
Again, the weaker side, and they pull it off.
Excellent start out from ZETA. We'll see what the desk thinks about that first half. GB?
I should probably play some Taz in the Astro.
Well, there is one thing that you guys did say. Sideshow did not believe in ZETA whatsoever.
He never does.
Truly an awful person. Sideshow, your thoughts?
Why is this always the narrative?
I don't make the rules.
No, they did play quite well actually. I thought that ZETA had a nice adaptation, and specifically a couple of the players that we were looking at.
Yeah.
You know, Depp performing well, and less on the other side too for Loud. Having a good performance here gives you an idea that the individual performances, the players you're looking at that didn't go crazy, Copenhagen or Reykjavik, are actually turning up.
Yeah, now he's back on that comfort, playing the Killjoy. He's freed up to really slow down the game and playing the lurks. Loud is playing a super execution-heavy style, so having him in play, having him to kind of come through in the late rounds and save those posts when ZETA's playing that heavy retake is super pivotal.
Yeah, however, I feel like ZETA Division did a great job of reading the style that Loud play on Ascent. It's very execute-heavy. The whole server felt like a retake simulator.
Yeah, it
Loud
did.
just sent 5 or 4 people
No
towards the
mid-rounds
site.
here at all.
No mid-rounding whatsoever. Now, this pistol round, I think, was gorgeous. It's one that a lot of other people are starting to use with the Fade Horde and Det getting online. I think they definitely need another one of these heading into the next half and just secure it out. This would be such a blow for Loud losing Ascent.
Yeah, it really would be, and I think the momentum they managed to build off of this round was really nice. It's just that kind of vote of confidence off the start for this Japanese squad. They're showing us that they can kind of have that slower style, that they can have those preset plans, but they can also change up on the fly. We were worried about those retakes. They showed us that they can do it. Now on the attack, we get to see what they've prepped up in those executes. Loud, though, they are a very strong defensive team, and especially with Aspas on that jet, fighting for that extremity control really often with his two initiators, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you're really looking at Aspas, Sadhack going aggressive on defense here. Loud still have a great shot on this map.
All right, well, it's still anyone's ball game here. Let's send it back over to the casters.
Thank you, GB. Yes, a very close affair between ZETA and Loud. A narrow lead, but as they were mentioning, there's really no telling what happens on the other side of the proverbial ball.
Yeah, and it is only one half, so this trend of us already leaning into ZETA, or to Josh, who's hating on ZETA, I think, is a little early because, like everybody said, so much to play. And Loud, too, you just saw such a good defensive team.
He does make it easy.
I mean,
He does make it easy. ZETA exploring the middle of the map here, at least Step is. Got a little bit of help with Crow close behind.
and if we didn't see much mid-rounding on the first half, we're going to see a lot. This is ZETA's bread and butter.
I mean, the two stories could not be more different. Heavy execute out from Loud. ZETA burn the clock down. They're so methodical. They're so patient.
Look at the setup, though, here on Cat. Kata's on Tree. He could easily get some spam shots with a dart from Saucy.
And you see the setup. The smoke, the haunt, the dash.
Oh, they're so low already.
Whoa! Where did Saucy hit that from?
He's in Tree right now. And it's just great runouts.
Step just narrowly missing the timing there. Sidestep, Frenzy not going to land. And look at him playing into smoke.
They're double swinging this, though.
Oh, Zero's been so good in these spots!
Oh.
Is there a trade? No, there's not a trade! How is it not traded out? The pistol goes in favor of Loud.
And Josh said how important it is for them to win that pistol. You saw the very, very well-rehearsed pistol round from ZETA Division inside of A main, and they're not that good at converting them. They sit around slightly above 50%. Loud, on the other hand, fantastic. Most of their stats regional. But that was huge. Remember, so much the crucial rounds. I think he also
May have done some slash into another, yeah.
really nice.
Vamos, caralho! O piso é nosso, velho! Vamos, porra! Amassar de defesa agora!
Smiles all around for Loud. Again, just the first round in the second half, but statistically, this is their sweet spot. They're very comfortable here.
Don't forget the one thrifty round so far that's been had in this game. One in the favor of ZETA. Loud grouping a lot here in mid. They're much more dynamic so far, but the push is coming in towards Pankata instead.
There's so much utility here too from Glass, and there it is. The first nano goes through. You've got a Paranoia out from Pankata. And now you've heard that the glass gets breaking out. There's a Paranoia. Hot not spotting anything. They've been so well concealed, and they're dealing all sorts of damage.
Spike down A.
Deb gets 2, which is honestly more than I expected with that Sheriff. And that's all he's good for. Pankata gets a 3rd on the round. Loud's highest up at 7.
Really, really good hold as they come stomping down Cat. And the split really, really nice. Pankata and Less, you could see the 2-man unit that they were running with. Wow, the rest of the team was just working inside of middle, kind of seeing which side ZETA Division was going to poke at the beginning of the round. And so they're fast on the rotate too, but they didn't even need it.
There may be something fast set up here defensively from Loud. Look at how far up they're postured, both in B main and mid.
And Aspas does have that Vandal.
And look at the pings on the map,
Here it
yeah.
comes.
There it is. There's the dart, the Paranoia, but the Paranoia doesn't tag. They've invested so much just to see if there's nobody there.
Yeah,
And
but
now
look-
you see the early rotates.
Look at the difference. We saw this exact situation happen on the bonus on the first half. The ZETA Division did not get any kills. They didn't stay, and they're worried about going into A main. And it's coming so late while Loud is here already.
Dev goes forward. He's been isolated. He's got the Haunt over shoulder to make sure that there's no one there with him. 10 drops. That was the cover on the flank. Now they're going to have to worry about that as well.
They do hear it. Sugar Zero's already getting in position to fight it, but it's all the bait. He's going to continue to flank, though, and that could be massive.
Does he wrap all the way around? Still has 1 SAR left to work with, and yep, he's creeping forward. Time ticking away as ZETA hang on as best as they can to control of this site. And again, the timing is everything here. Tucks under hell, Dart not spotting anything, but they find the kills that they need.
Come out.
Gotta go fast too, there it is. The defuse pause for now, 3v2. You've got the smoke to find some cover. It's a massive kill up for Sugar Zero. He's not able to find anything else at all. Zone to Crow, he's healthy. And my goodness, Saucy's not. They haven't even gotten it to half. He's gonna have to stick it, he's gonna have to hold it. He gets one kill, but the trade comes through. Half saves the day for Loud.
They instantly swap there too on the diffuser.
So clean.
Last full HP to take the fight. Saucy, very low. Well played from Loud on the shark attack, and they convert the bonus. The difference could have been made just then in this game, in this first map. Good composure from Loud in the situations that they need. Sugar Zero had a chance to potentially do a little bit more, but also Loud worried about that. As soon as it comes out, they're off the defuse. They have to make sure that they get that kill down. And let's see again, Sadak wants to get inside of B main. They're doing a great job with the extremity control. Actually have both sides, A main and B main right now.
Just funnel them to mid, and you already see the rotations from out. Look at where they're facing on the minimap. The drone, 3 people close by to challenge. You've also got mid that's being taken away as they're just on the flash. She's there. It's a very good flash. The Cloudburst provides some cover, and Saucy's there to save it again. Pass still has it. Oh, he had that dash ready to go. Last swings out.
One enemy remaining.
Clean shots out from Saucy too. This was a lighter round for them, but
yeah.
Either way, clean out from Loud.
Well, I mean, now they've got the lead and pretty comfortable as well. As a couple ults come up for ZETA, this one's crucial. They've got to reverse the trend right now where Loud is getting all the space early. It's something that has been, I think, certainly a pattern for ZETA, right? Where they give up a lot of space early, but then they're able to work back at it in such good fashion. I don't necessarily think they have the tools on this map specifically. I'm thinking back to the split games that they so commonly able to work those mid-rounds. So there might be another shark attack here. Yeah, they're just going for it again. Missed the flash.
Paranoid doesn't land, but the dart does. They know that 10's there, and 10 somehow still gets a kill. Depth's there to give numbers back in favor of ZETA after the trade. Uh-oh. Sugar Zero, again, just on the other side of the smoke. Saucy going this morning. Sugar Zero had no idea, but the bullets don't land. May have gotten a bit more than they bargained for here as Lowry heavily outnumbered. They're going to have to pull off some sort of miracle, and perhaps the miracle comes in favor of Saucy, and now less. This was a 4v2 that they've snatched back.
Enemy remaining.
It's gotten down to a 1v1. Oh, now they've got the lockdown. He's got the spike is nowhere near him. He's going to have to clear that out and make a play for that space.
Plenty of space, and he has smokes too. If Les commits all the way back into spawn, he can get smoked off, and yep, there it is. Les wants to fight it.
61 HP.
I need to stop. Blocking vision.
Now down to 21. The swing is there. Les lands the shots. They were so outnumbered.
But they don't expect the Sova and the Killjoy to be following that after they win the fight against the shark attack. You 100% expect, yeah, Pancata, the Omen, the Jet, the KO are going to be aggressive, but when all those guys fall and you see it's just Killjoy and it's just Sova, there's no way those guys are pushing the follow-up. There's just no way. And also, you don't necessarily even expect that 2 rounds in a row. So final timeout used here. I think Loud played that really well, but specifically Les too. You saw the way he repositioned after that smoke went down. Immediately he knows he can't be close to this yet, so he can't actually take this space. And he recognized the blunder from Sugar Zero.
Another timeout comes through, this time from ZETA. They have a lot of ultimates to work with here as we turn our attention to the next round, but the money's not in a great shape, Paula.
This is the type of moments that you consistently were asking at Ranking League. Do you believe in magic? Because they're going to have to pull out a 50-round win, I think.
Again, this will have to be their second.
Super low economy, but it's getting to the point where Loud has so much rope to work with. If they go up to 11, just 2 rounds needed.
For as much as we've talked about very quickly Les and how he kind of struggled previously and what's he going to do now, 21-8. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Those are the types of guys you want at the top of the scoreboard at the beginning of a tournament. You know Aspas is going to be consistent. He's picked up the op now too, so another thing for ZETA to have to deal with. 2 players, the Jet and the Killjoy, get knifed there. Not so much information given.
I wonder if they hold here and get 10, this orb, and then just fully send everything to get into A.
Well, the re-exploration right now is giving up a lot of space. They might be able to get just completely past Sadak here.
Note that it's Crow who has the spike.
Oh, they just jumped. There was just noise there, so Sadak is instantly able to put down that nade.
Oh, and they push forward into it. Def and 10 have gotten through, but the rest of the team has to wait. They have to delay. Door down, the spam. So much for Sadak to have to deal with. Def taking a whole lot of damage. There's 100 Fury. Crow still hasn't got the spike down. Saucy finds one from across the way. Now the paranoia in the face of Def. He still gets one, but he gets traded out for it. Numbers heavily in favor of Loud, and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon.
And the Hunter's Fury shuts down the actual push too. Outside of main, the only hope they had was to get past Sadak fast enough. And that noise, the little bit of jump noise, just costed them an opportunity in that round, because there was no way after that.
The only other cue that they had was the Astra smoke, and even then, like, it could be from anywhere, yeah.
Here we go again.
Still 4 ultimates from ZETA, but this time with guns, this time with armor.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to be much faster here on the A main control. Actually challenging what Loud wants to do at the beginning of the round.
There it is, it's fast. Hold through, but it seems like they tempered things for just a moment. Knife causing some problems. Now the spams once again.
There's a hunt here for actually Depp to try to take advantage of, and he just missed it. Still, Nightfall available, Lockdown available, Cosmic Divide 2.
Oh, the flank fight, and he goes in Astra form, and he misses the flank. They've gotten right past him.
The alarm bot's down too.
How have they missed this? They have no idea. Crow not realizing there's someone right behind him, and there it is.
But he doesn't know Sugar Zero too.
Flanker about to get flanked. Is the timing gonna land their way? ZETA with almost nothing for numbers. Can Sugar Zero find something? He's just not gonna show up in time. Pass is weak, sure.
He didn't get half.
Yeah, he's pulled him off. Turret cleared out 58 HP. He has to push forward. He's gotten past the shot. The spam is there. A 1v1. Pass weak. Sugar Zero as well. The tap, the swing, the shots, and Sugar Zero with the Red Bull clutch.
What a play! The mistake to let the player through, but still comes through with the 1v3 at the final moment. And he's so decisive. This is why this guy turned so many heads when he made his international debut.
The op shot buzzes his ear.
That smoke went down in milliseconds after he got the first kill. And he was just pushing, just through the smoke. Gives him a gap to peek out. What a clutch.
Magic. 11-8 in favor of Loud. Still hanging on to that lead. But remember, this is ZETA slowly, they have shown a tendency to claw their way back into things. We'll see if they can do it again. Dash through with the Prowler in his face. And off of that, mid-control, a little bit towards ZETA.
But it is so difficult to break Loud. Look at how dynamic they are on this side compared to what we saw on the... Look, they're re-clearing B main again. They just fought a little bit in mid, helped Aspas get away, and now they're retaking the space. And they're never really fighting. They're always getting enough space that they can make the right reads. Like right now, they're rotating Sadak and Sasi all the way over towards A.
And if that's not enough, you have Les, who's tucked in a ratty little corner. That's exactly where the spike is headed to. This setup could be disaster for ZETA. The Prowler's not going to reach. It doesn't even clear him. Do they swing him? Les, patient. Oh, he sees everything, but he gets nothing in shit exchange. Last so weak, and he falls. Numbers once again in favor of Loud. And both members of ZETA
30 seconds left.
right next to each other. Spam through the smoke. Sugar Zero gets across.
I got this crossfire right now.
Yeah, but Sugar Zero's so far away.
There's no way they know. Oh my goodness.
That shock dart. Fancy footwork keeps him alive. It comes into a 1v2. ZETA once again outnumbered, and this time there's nothing to it. Loud map point.
And look at the money, Doug. There's nothing left.
Bad.
There is nothing left. Just a couple of ults. And that's not how you want to go into match point against Loud.
No.
Their conversions on these anti-ecos, they're solid, and we've seen it over and over so far. If he's able to get that kill, maybe he has a chance, Crow. But there was just not enough support over towards Sugar Zero was trying to do, but also not enough time. Crow was pressured on two sides, on two fronts.
You see Loud already going for the jugular. The spam with the Odin, the op-looking cat. Manages to avoid the haunt. Takes the space right back. This buys a blissful from ZETA.
Sugar Zero's catching on, though. He's really trying to make sure Loud has to be holding these positions and reacting off the information they're giving them. Prior rounds, there was no information to be garnered from Loud, other than the lack of information. This time, they're showing something. They can't make the same reads, but they are walking still into the kill for the setup.
Tower down.
It also doesn't look like there's a setup for a fake or anything. Maybe if Crow's on the other side with his
You are
Nightfall, you give him
divided.
a little something to think about. But no, the
Face
Cosmic
your
Divide.
fear.
And there it is. Oh no, Saucy gets two right off the bat. Whatever's left behind that push has been neutered.
Flipping the map now, trying to make it all the way back towards Cat.
But they're so terrified of what's on the other side of the Cosmic
30
Divide because
seconds
they have no map control anywhere else. They have to burn their flashes. They have to shoulder peek through this.
Oh no.
Paranoia on the other side though. Cat is there, he's waiting. Laz, I believe, was hit. And ass pass from up top with the blades. 13 seconds left. Yep. It doesn't get much easier than that, dear friends. A 13-8 win to clean up map 1 for Loud.
And it's again